Hey there, Reality Wranglers. Welcome to Reality Rhythm, the only channel brave enough to ask the big questions. Like, why do socks always disappear in the laundry? Okay, maybe not that big, but we are tackling stuff like the meaning of life, happiness, and whether or not consciousness is just a really elaborate screensaver. So, if you've ever felt like you're just going through the motions, dancing to a beat you didn't choose, and let's be honest, who hasn't? Then you've come to the right place. By understanding how reality works, we can take control and live more fulfilling lives. Okay, let's get serious. This isn't just some philosophical musing. This is a scientific exploration. We're talking about the fundamental forces that govern our existence. Think of this channel as your personal reality lab, where we dissect the universe with curiosity and a healthy dose of humor. So, what's the mission here at Reality Rhythm? We're diving deep into the science of life, consciousness, and everything in between. We'll explore emotions, happiness, and the mind-boggling mysteries of consciousness, all through the lens of rigorous scientific inquiry. And don't worry, we'll translate the jargon into plain English, because even your grandma deserves to understand how reality works and the physics of joy. Thinkers, scientists, philosophers, even that one friend who's convinced they can bend spoons with their mind. You're all welcome in our reality sandbox. Let's challenge these ideas because scientific progress thrives on healthy debate. Okay, let's dial back the jargon and make this even more accessible while keeping the enthusiasm and scientific curiosity. So, why should you join the Reality Rhythm crew? Because we're tackling the really interesting, mind-blowing stuff. The kind of questions that make you go, and maybe even crave a late-night snack. We're not just guessing at answers. We're digging for the real reasons, the science behind it all. Here's a peek at what we're exploring. What's the meaning of life? But we'll have a blast exploring what science has to say about meaning and purpose. Think less philosophy class, more brain science. Why do we feel emotions? Besides the fact that humans are wonderfully weird, we're looking at how our brains and bodies create emotions, exploring the complex mix of chemicals and those feelings we all know, joy, sadness, anger, and everything in between. How can we actually, truly live a meaningful life without having to live on kale and in a cave, unless if you wanna? We're looking at practical ways to build a good life, figuring out what actually makes a life fulfilling. How do we measure a life well lived? How do we find lasting happiness? Is it hidden in the last slice of pizza? We'll definitely check that out. But seriously, we're exploring how to actually create lasting happiness. Think less wishful thinking, more real strategies for feeling good. Why do bad things happen? Life can be a real roller coaster sometimes. But beyond the ups and downs, we'll look at why things happen, exploring how we can be strong and bounce back from tough times. Think less, why me? And more, how can I get through this? And the million-dollar question, the biggest mystery of all. What is consciousness? Is it like a tiny person living in our brains? Is it something that happens when lots of things work together? We're on the case. We'll explore the latest ideas about consciousness in a way that won't make your brain melt. Hopefully. So, ready to join the Reality Rhythm adventure? We're not just asking questions. We're trying to understand how things work. We're not just looking for answers. We're looking for the why. And we're not just having fun. We're learning about ourselves and the world around us. Let's explore reality together. And the coolest part? This isn't just stuffy textbooks. This is real-world applicable. Everyone can benefit from understanding the science of reality. Imagine using science to build stronger relationships, make better decisions, and even improve your health and well-being. It's like having a superpower, but with science. Or even engineers, scientists, and philosophers can benefit from understanding reality's operating system. It could even lead to some seriously cool breakthroughs. Imagine engineers designing buildings that harmonize with our emotions, or scientists unlocking the secrets of consciousness itself. The possibilities are mind-boggling. Okay, so let's talk about what reality actually is. From a scientific point of view, it's basically everything that's real. The universe, the earth, your phone, that weird smell in your fridge, it's all part of reality. It's the world around us, the stuff we can touch, see, hear, and smell. It's what we can measure, test, and learn about. It's what is. Unlike that dream you had where you were flying and wearing a superhero cape. That was just your imagination being awesome, or maybe a little weird. But reality? Reality is what's actually there, whether we're dreaming or not. So, what do we mean by rhythm? Think of it as the heartbeat of reality, the underlying patterns and forces that shape everything. It's like the bass line of the universe, the fundamental code or algorithms that make things tick. Without understanding this rhythm, we're kind of just dancing around aimlessly, bumping into things. But by learning these patterns, we can start to understand how things work, maybe even predict what's coming next, and even influence the course of events a little bit. This channel is all about giving you the dance moves, so you can take the lead in your own life's epic dance-off with reality. Now, what if I told you there's a fundamental force, kind of like gravity, but way more personal, that's been shaping your reality since you were born? This force is responsible for a lot of what we think is just luck or chance. Things like success, failure, even those weird cravings you get sometimes. It's been influencing you from the very beginning, and you might not even realize it. And guess what? We're about to dive in and learn all about it. This mysterious force? It's called emotions. Yep, those powerful feelings that make us laugh, cry, and sometimes throw popcorn at the movie screen. Emotions aren't just random feelings. They're complex biological processes with a huge impact on our brains and our reality. They're not just squishy feelings. They involve real, physical changes in our bodies and how we act. Scientists are still figuring out all the details, but we do know they're more than just subjective experiences. They have a real, physical basis in our brains and bodies. And that's what makes them so fascinating and so powerful. What makes emotions so powerful? Well, they're kind of like energy. They follow rules similar to the laws of physics. Think of it like this. Energy can't just appear out of nowhere or disappear completely. It just changes form. Emotions are the same way. They can't be created or destroyed, only transformed. This is a huge deal. It means all those feelings you've ever had, every moment of joy, sadness, anger, everything, they're still somewhere. And they're influencing you, even now. So, if emotions can't be created or destroyed, where do they even come from? And how do they interact to shape our reality? If emotions are a fundamental force like physics tells us, and these forces can't be created or destroyed, does that mean our current life is being influenced by a cycle of past emotions? Could that be why it's so hard to take control sometimes? These are the mind-bending questions we're diving into next time. That's the adventure, the scientific frontier we're embarking on. Subscribe now, hit that notification bell, and join the Reality Rhythm crew, or research team, if you prefer. And don't forget to ask your burning questions in the comments. We might just answer them in the next video. Thanks for joining the exploration, or, the scientific revolution. I am Elia Kadima. Thanks for watching.